Hi there, I am back and I was in the mood for waffles today, so I thought it'd be a good excuse to put it on video for you guys. And I'm going to take my classic homemade buttermilk waffle recipe, but I'm going to make it with more fall flavors. I'm going to add some shredded fresh apple and some cinnamon and ginger to really kind of jazz it up a little bit. And with a nice sweet pork breakfast sausage next to it. That and the apples and the maple syrup is, oh, it's just going to be so delicious. So I did list this recipe once before underneath, or in the description box rather, underneath the video review I did of my Hamilton Beach Square waffle maker a couple of years ago. But I will go ahead and list it in the description box below this video as well, so you don't have to go back and search for it. So let's get the recipe started. I've already preheated my waffle maker, and I'm not going to use the Hamilton Beach today. I'm actually going to use my Cuisinart, which makes the thinner, more crispy waffles. So just to do something different. So I've preheated my waffle maker. I've also preheated my oven to 225 degrees. It's also always a good idea to warm your oven. You don't need it super hot because you don't want to dry the waffle out or burn it. You just want to keep it warm and crisp. And when they're done out of the waffle maker and transfer them, make sure you put them right directly on your oven rack. If you put them on a baking pan or an oven safe dish, the bottom of the waffle will get soggy. So you want to put them directly on the rack. So let's start the recipe. In this bowl, in a medium mixing bowl, you're going to add your dry ingredients first. I have 1 cup of flour. And of course, right off the bat, we're making a mess. And then I'm also going to add my baking powder. I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I also have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, mine doesn't look white because I have organic sugar here, and I'm trying to use it up because the crystals are too large. It's a little too crunchy for me, so I'm going to use it up cooking. And then I'm going to put in my spices because that goes in with the dry. That is cinnamon and ginger. I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of ginger. And in case I didn't mention it, the sugar was 2 tablespoons. Okay, and then I also have a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And cornstarch is the key to keeping the waffles really crispy on the outside. But they're nice and fluffy and tender on the inside. So I'm just going to give this a whisk to kind of get everything combined really well. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of make a little bit of a well or a divot in the center. And I'm going to add my egg. There's 1 egg. 1 large egg, whatever size you got will work just fine. Okay. And then the oil. I have a half a cup of cooking oil. You can use whatever oil you want as long as it's neutral in flavor so it doesn't change the flavor of the waffle. Like just plain vegetable oil is fine. I'm using sunflower oil. That's my oil of choice for everyday cooking. And again, that is half a cup. And then also have a cup of buttermilk. If you can't find buttermilk in your area, you can just use whole milk for this if you want that little bit of extra tang. And I think too, in baking, buttermilk adds a little extra tenderness too to the final crumb. So if you want to you can make your own by just taking the 1 cup of milk and adding a tablespoon or 2 of vinegar to it. I'm not sure exactly what the measurement is because I don't use that method all that often. I live in the Midwest where buttermilk is pretty easy to find almost anywhere. Now, there are a few lumps in here, but we're not going to worry about that as long as all the large pockets of dry ingredients are mixed in. And that's what I like about using a glass bowl. You can kind of look underneath. So I don't want to go too far with that because I don't want to work up the gluten and make tough waffles. So now, last thing I'm going to fold in is our apples. These got a little brown. I grated them just minutes before I got the video started. But, you know, fresh apple, it's not going to change the flavor or texture at all. It's just oxidizing a little bit. Plus, these are going to be in the batter and baked in. You're not even going to see it, really. And as usual, I always think I'm prepared and then forget one utensil. So I'm just going to, and this is just one apple. If you put too much in, it's very wet, has a lot of its own juice. Your waffles might not puff up very much or take longer to bake in the waffle iron with the extra moisture. So I'm just going to put in one apple, and I think that's plenty. You can kind of, I hope you can see the strands of the apple in the batter. You can see the baking powder and baking soda is starting to act already when it hits the buttermilk, the acid in the buttermilk. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can see the bubbles and I can feel the mixture is sort of getting a little more voluminous. So, all right, so let's move over to the waffle iron and get these going. Okay, wow, you can see the steam rising up from my waffle iron here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some batter into the waffle iron. And on this one, I really don't, every now and then I will spray the waffle iron, but this one I've never had an issue with it sticking. So let's hope that my record on that doesn't end today. But so I don't want to go too much farther. I have a feeling I might have put a little too much in. We'll see. So I'm just going to put it dead center, close it up, and wait until that red light turns green. I can see it coming out here a little bit. Hopefully it will cook before it leaks. Okay. All right, and we'll be back as soon as that is done. All right, my light just turned green, so let's take a look and see what our cinnamon ginger apple waffles look like. Ooh, look at that. Oh, is that beautiful? And so evenly brown. Let's see here. See, nothing sticks in this waffle maker. I absolutely love it. There's the top. There's the underside. Gorgeous. Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Oh my God, I wish you could smell these. They're so good. I'm going to quick pop this on my oven rack right away. My preheated oven. And let's get another one going here. Make sure I get lots of apples in there. Probably put a little less batter in this time. It just started to leak slightly out of one of the edges here, but stopped before it got to the control panel, thankfully. I have this set at about 2.5, but of course that's totally up to you how dark brown you want your waffles or just a light golden. Okay. All right. Second waffle, just as gorgeous as the first. For me, this is a true acid test of a good waffle maker. You know, so many of them, the first one is kind of like making crepes, where the first one is a throwaway, and then you make your adjustments. But this one, they come out perfect pretty much every time. So again, into the oven to keep warm. All right. I'm going to get these dressed up. All right, here we are with our beautiful apple, cinnamon, and ginger waffles, or just autumnal flavor, if that's easier. I have a feeling these are going to be good all on their own, but I have my powdered sugar shaker here. And I'm going to taste them both ways. I'm going to break into this one with just the powdered sugar, and then I also have my maple syrup handy. But I have a feeling they're going to be good either way. But you can see how easily they break apart. That is so delicious. You can see it really picked up the color of the spices. And it's perfectly crispy and tender. I don't know if you can hear the crunch. Okay. Let's try a little maple syrup. And this is pure maple syrup. I don't like the fake corn syrup knockoffs, I guess you could call it. All right, this I'm probably going to use silverware for because it's going to be a bit sticky. So let's just get into this one here with the syrup. Oh, you can hear the crunch. Wow, that's a really big bite. When I'm off camera, I'll probably eat them that big. So, oh man, it is really good either way. But wow, the maple syrup with the apples, the cinnamon, and just that touch of ginger. I can taste it, but it's not like spicy. Oh man, is that ever good. And here's the best part here. Let's get a bite of the waffle and a bite of this wonderful pork breakfast sausage. You can see that. Mmm. That is so good. Sorry this ran a little longer than I wanted. But I'm glad I could invite you in for brunch today in my kitchen. Again, I will list the recipe in the description box below, including the extras with the spices and the apples. If you love waffles and pancakes, especially love warm spices for fall, please give this a try and let me know down below in the comment section how you like it and what you did. Maybe swap out the apple for pears or another fruit of some kind, and let me know all the cool ideas you came up with this recipe, because it's very, very versatile, very forgiving. So again, if you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. Have a great day and stay cool out there. It's really hot for this time of year. Not complaining, because I love summer. It's just weird. Have a great day. Bye-bye.